Welcome back to Twin Cities Live. This weekend marks the unofficial kickoff to cabin season in Minnesota.
Love that. I'm looking forward to spending some time in Cross Lake. My best friend's family has a cabin there, and I regularly invite myself there. It's a great way. Yes, it's a perfect place to escape for the weekend. But if you have dreamed of owning your own lake place, experts say there's never been a better time to start looking.
Here are some advice and a few examples of what exactly your money will buy from Frandsen Financial. We welcome Jim Kraft. Hi, Jim.
Nice to see you, Jim.
How are you?
Thank you for the invitation. It's nice to be here.
Okay, so why now? We're saying this is a great time. Really get down to the nitty gritty. Why is it looking so good out there?
Well, there's two real good reasons to buy now. One is that in the lakes area, the property values have decreased by 20 to 50%.
Wow.
The other thing is, and probably more in the news, is that the mortgage rates are still very low. Combining those two things makes now the perfect time to buy the most value for the dollar.
So have you found that a lot of people, because there's been such a dramatic decrease in the property values, that people are willing to do whatever they can to try to make one of these deals happen?
There are quite a number of properties on the market, so the inventory is there.
Okay.
Okay, and they're a little bit more affordable. So what I think always surprises people is, like, if you're up at the lake, we always drive around on the boat on the lake and then kind of guess, how much do you think that one is? How much do you think that one is? And that's what you're here for, because you're going to help us figure out exactly how much some of these are. So let's go to Brainerd, to South Long Lake. And we have a property there we're going to take a look at that's listed at $154,900. Tell us what you get with this, Jim.
When you talk about this property, it's probably the cabin that most people picture when you think about a cabin.
Yeah.
It's on a good fishing lake. It's nestled close to the shoreline. It's a 700 square feet. And
which is good for your family. You know, you should be really close to them.
When you're going camping, you should be close.
And when you think about the family, this is the type of place that brings those golden pond memories, the loons going across and those types of things.
Yeah, this is great.
So, really cool
so that's kind of the space, and I'm sure the lake has a lot to do with it. You know, what lake it's on, the property, all those things can fluctuate the price.
Location, location, location in real estate, and depending on where it's at, dictates the price.
Okay.
We have another example of one of the homes. We're going to bump up a little bit here, Jim. You kind of give us an idea of what we're talking about. This one is on the Gull Lake chain, and we're talking $365,000.
Wow,
Tell us about this.
When you talk about the Gull chain, you're talking about probably a premier chain in the Minnesota. And this property happens to be on one of the smaller lakes of the chain, and located on a channel, but you can see that it's nicely
it's
fixed
stunning.
up.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
But the price on it, in $365,000, is priced because it's off the main lake and has a shoreline that's not that gold beach that you would see on some of the larger part of the lake.
So if you had a similar house to that, and I mean similar size, bedrooms, all that kind of stuff, but on the main lake, like, what's the price bump that we would be talking about?
You're going to see the price bump here coming up, but you're probably going to be talking $700,000 to $800,000.
Whoa!
Wow!
On a
I
strong
like
beach.
the mini lake.
Well, and to me, the smaller lake almost seems more appealing in a lot of ways, because you don't have as much boat traffic, you don't have as many people going by. It's probably a little more quiet than being on the big main lake, right?
Like Elizabeth said, though, when you're up at the cabin, part of being up there is going out in the lake and looking around at the different properties.
And being nosy and getting as close to them as you can.
And that's one of the attractions to the chain lakes, is it gives you a lot of water to boat on.
Okay, let's just get up there into
the
luxury home territory.
Okay.
Okay, let's go to the Whitefish chain. This is in Cross Lake. We know and love this area. This place, which is beautiful, $769,545. Seriously, this is a cabin? Who are you
Roughing
people?
it. You're roughing
really? Like, who are you?
That is
and how do I get your life? What is going on? Jim, this is awesome.
We have an office in Cross Lake. We can maybe help you with that.
Thank you. Yes, thank you. That is not quite my budget, but we'll see.
Now, this property is on a quiet part of the lake, has a very gradual incline out to the shore. It's a newer home, built in 2003, I believe. And so there's not going to be any maintenance to speak of.
Yeah, it's good to go.
And so you grab your cup of coffee, walk out to the deck and take in the panoramic view that's out there.
Yeah, and there you are.
What are there low end things like maybe more that I could afford? I mean, I'm talking, you know, the first one you showed us was around 156,000. I mean, is it even reasonable to think of a cabin anymore in between like the $50,000 to $70,000 range, or is that kind of 20 years
You
ago?
could probably buy maybe you could buy the property and a tent. You could sit out there.
You know, I think today there is opportunities for that. There's a lot of different types of properties. And so to get lakeshore access or some type of property like that, you can look for that.
Yeah.
Sure.
You know, the best thing to do in looking for property is to get pre-qualified first and figure out how much is affordable to you.
You might find out with the interest rates as low as they are that perhaps that 50 to 75 could be that 150
You could afford
one
a
that
little
you're
bit
thinking
more.
about,
If
right?
you act now, it's possible that you could do that.
Thanks for the advice, Jim. We really appreciate it. It was fun to look at those cabins.
Thanks a lot. Hey, Frandsen Financial provided us with cabin buyers checklist to help you get started. You can download a copy by going to our website and click on Fun. And thanks to Frandsen Financial for sponsoring Twin Cities Live.